Come gather ye friends round your flickering campfires and listen to tales of daring, horror, and high adventure from the worn pages of history. Set aside thine 60-mile eyesight tests and hearken ye well to the voices of your storytellers, for this is
The Silly History Boys Show.
I am Bob, crafter of tales and semi-professional funny man.
I am Uncle Bilbo, deliverer of dreams direct to your door.
I am the Pear Bear, face of the faceless corporations.
And I'm Tombo. Time has no meaning for the likes of me.
Lads, we are at the back end of our Thor Trilogy. Who'd have thunk it?
Thorilogy?
It's not going to catch on, Pear Bear. Stop living in denial and accept it.
What tale are we telling today?
Today, young Tombo, we tell the Utgarda-Loki Saga. In it, Thor will be challenged to the limits of his abilities and beyond.
Our story begins in a forest.
Oh no, it's a spookier forest than that. Yes, that's about right. Thor and his brother Loki were wandering down a spooky forest path.
Brother, why are we walking down this spooky forest path?
Because I've heard that somewhere beyond this forest there's a fortress called Utgarda, and it's said that only the strongest may dine within its walls. And I'm in the mood for a free dinner.
How do you know you're strong enough for said free dinner?
Because I'm me. Just look at me. I mean, I'm awesome.
And modest too.
The brothers continued down the path, but no end to the forest came in sight.
Are we lost, Thor?
Lost? Ha! Nonsense. I'm sure the end of the path is close.
More time passed, and yet still Thor and Loki found themselves deep in the forest.
Yeah, all right. Oh, yeah, I think we're lost.
Oh, great. The sun's going down, Thor. We may have to make camp and continue on the morrow.
There came a rustling and crashing from the trees. From the darkness, there appeared a giant.
Forest giant! Prepare for a smashing, you oversized freak!
Stop, Thor. Stop.
Why?
The giant might know the way out of the forest.
What? Giants don't know things.
I can hear you, you know. I'm standing right here.
Hearing things? Classic giant move. Now, prepare to die.
Put Mjolnir down and let me handle this. Hello, large sir. Please forgive my brother. He gets a little smash happy when he's hungry. This is Thor, and I am Loki. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
The famous Thor and Loki. Well met. I am Screamir. This is a forest not often visited by the Aesir. What brings you to these parts?
We seek a legendary fortress where only the strong may dine. Tell us how to get there, and I'll consider letting you go without a smashing.
Oh, I see. Well, since you asked so nicely, I suppose I'll tell you. The fortress you seek is called Utgarda. It is a fortress of giants, and its king respects only the strongest of beings. Anyone deemed not powerful enough is denied entry.
Well, I hope they're ready for me. I love a free dinner.
The fortress lies on the other side of this forest, half a day's travel from here. I will lead you there come the morning, if you like.
Oh, that would be lovely. Thank you.
We had best make camp for the night, however. This forest is far too spooky to be wandering around in the dark.
And so, our heroes and their newly found giant friend made camp. Within moments, Screamir had settled himself on the ground and was fast asleep.
Settling on the ground and going fast asleep. Ha! Classic giant move. I'm gonna give him such a smashing.
He's asleep.
So, he's a giant.
Brother, you have really got some issues.
Thor leapt into the air, with Mjolnir raised to the night sky, and brought the hammer down on Skrymir's head with a resounding thonk. The ground shook, and Loki was thrown from his feet by the shockwave.
Take that, giant.
Skrymir, entirely unharmed, opened his eyes and looked straight at Thor.
Oh, hello, Thor. Did an acorn fall from the trees above and land on my head? Could have sworn I felt something tap me. Never mind. Back to sleep I go.
Thor stood dumbfounded. No creature had ever survived a blow from his hammer, and yet there lay Skrymir, lightly snoring and in one piece.
How does he still have a head? Ugh, must have pulled back on the backswing. Hoo-yah!
Thor leapt again, higher this time. The impact of Mjolnir on Skrymir's head could be heard halfway around the world. But when the dust settled, Skrymir lay there, entirely whole and not even smashed a little bit. His open eyes were again fixed on Thor.
Did you see a tiny, tiny bird pecking me? Oh, thanks for getting rid of it, Thor. It was nearly hard enough to be a slight irritant. Right, back to sleep for me. Night-night.
Skrymir once again fell back to sleep. Thor couldn't believe what he was seeing.
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Yes, I just said that. Thor decided to have another go, and this time he wasn't messing about. He did the spinny, spinny, spinny thing that he does in the movies and threw himself into the air using Mjolnir's momentum.
He's not messing about.
I literally just said that. When Thor landed his blow to Skrymir's head, the impact was heard throughout the 9 realms. It was the most powerful blow Thor had ever dealt any creature, a blow capable of leveling a mountain. Skrymir's eyes popped open once more.
Oh, hello again, Thor. I just had the strangest dream. A tiny little baby was poking me in the head. Can you believe it? Oh, it felt so real.
Finally giving up, Thor settled down to sleep. How was Skrymir so strong? Thor drifted into a confused and worried slumber. Morning came, and our heroes packed away their camp and followed Skrymir to the edge of the forest. The giant had spoken true. They left the last of the trees at lunchtime. Ahead of them, they could see a fortress.
Here we are, then. Straight ahead is the fortress of Utgarda. I shall leave you here, for this is where our paths divide. I hope you're feeling strong, Thor. Their king is really quite picky when it comes to who can dine.
Then he'd best have his ovens on full blast, for I'll be eating my free dinner before sundown.
Thank you, kind Skrymir, for the help.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Farewell, Loki. Farewell, Thor.
Yeah, whatevs. Come on, Loki. My stomach is rumbling.
With that, Thor stomped away, and Loki, embarrassed by his brother's terrible manners, made apologies to Skrymir and followed after. Though they could see the fortress before them, it took hours of marching down the path to reach it. The brothers realized that it was much bigger than they had first thought. It was gigantic. Upon finally reaching the gate, they had to bend nearly backwards to look at the top of the walls.
Hello? Anyone in?
Hang on. I'll knock on the door.
Thor pulled Mjolnir into his hand and gave the door a solid smash. After a moment, a viewing slit slid open far above their heads.
Hello?
Hello? May we come in?
Hello? I think something's gone wrong. I can hear you, but I can't see you.
We're down here! Stupid place for a viewing slit. It's miles above everyone's head.
The massive fortress doors creaked open, and in the doorway stood another giant.
Oh, hello! Aren't you too small?
I'm not small. I'm Thor, god of thunder, protector of mankind. Where I walk, crops ripen.
Oh, you're adorable. Look at you.
My brother has heard that you're giving out free dinners for strong people.
That is true. Our king respects only strength. Are you seriously thinking you're strong enough to dine within these walls?
Yeah, look at me. I'm super strong.
Okay, if you say so. I'll take you to the king. Wouldn't get your hopes up, though.
I'll get your hopes up in a minute. With my hammer.
That doesn't make any sense.
The giant led Thor and Loki through the fortress to the throne room. Never had the pair laid eyes on a larger construction. They journeyed down corridors hundreds of meters long and dozens of meters high. The throne room itself took them nearly 5 minutes to walk from end to end, and everywhere Thor looked, he could see giants.
Loki, there are so many giants. Urge to smash rising.
Control yourself. Even you couldn't handle this many all at once.
Finally, they found themselves stood before a gigantic throne, and upon that throne there sat a being of such hugeness it would have driven a mortal mind to madness just to look at him. King Utgarda. He wore a crown of gold, a massive crown of gold.
Thor and Loki of the Aesir, tales of your deeds have reached even here. Welcome to my fortress.
I hope you've got your kitchens on standby, giant, for I grow hungry.
You think yourself strong enough to dine within these walls?
Why does everyone keep asking me that? Of course I am. I'm Thor.
Well, we can't just be taking your word for it. Rules are rules.
Then test me. Of all the gods, I'm the strongest, and the best fighter, and the best drinker.
Very well. You shall be tested in all 3 of those areas. Pass just one of the tests, and you will be allowed to chow down.
Then begin. My tummy is close to rumbling.
First, we shall test your strength, little god of thunder.
What must I lift, eh? A giant? 2 giants? What? Hey? 5 giants? What is it?
You must lift my cat.
And with that, a small ginger cat was placed before Thor.
Are you quite sure this is right?
Oh, yes. All Thor must do is make sure all 4 of Mr. Nibble's paws leave the ground. Begin.
Righto.
Thor placed his hands upon the cat and lifted it into the air, or at least he tried to. For some reason, he couldn't get his grip right, and whenever one paw left the ground, another would touch the ground again. Thor strained and strained, but to no avail. The best he managed was to get 3 of Mr. Nibbles' paws off the ground. But after this, he collapsed to his knees, gulping in great heaving breaths.
Mr. Nibbles wins!
I don't understand.
Worry not. You still have 2 chances left.
The next test is a trial by combat.
Ah, that's right up my alley. Who must I fight, eh? Your strongest warrior, I've no doubt.
No. Seeing as you struggled so much with the cat round, I think I'll take it easy on you. You will fight my nursemaid!
From behind Utgarda's throne, there shuffled an old lady. This was a proper old lady as well. Blue rinsed perm and everything.
Hello, dearie.
This must be some kind of jest. I'm the god of thunder. I don't just go round hammering old ladies.
Speak up, love. Hang on. I'll try my good ear.
There is no mistake, Thor. All you must do is drive her to her knees to pass the test. Begin!
Well, all right. If you say so. Hey-ya!
Thor set into the old lady with abandon. He would have her on her knees and show all assembled exactly how mighty he was. But this lady was a lot stronger than Thor had anticipated. The fight went on and on, Thor never being able to gain an advantage, and finally Thor found himself driven to his knees.
Oh no!
The god of thunder, driven to his knees by an old lady. This is brilliant.
The Hall of Giants roared with laughter as Utgarda's nursemaid bowed to the crowd, blew them kisses, and moonwalked out backwards before shuffling away. Thor clenched his teeth and felt anger burning deep within him. How had he lost to a nursemaid?
I think my favorite bit was when you lost to an old lady.
What's happened to me, brother? I feel as strong as I always do, and yet I keep failing.
You've still got one more chance, Thor. The drinking competition.
You're right. It's time to get thirsty.
No, that's not a thing.
This final test is your last chance, Thor.
I'm ready, Utgarda. Drinking is my middle name.
Seems a bit of a stupid middle name, but okay. Bring out the Horn of Mead.
A completely and utterly normal-sized horn of mead was placed in Thor's hand.
All you must do is drain the horn dry, every last drop. You have 3 attempts, and if the horn isn't empty by the end of the 3rd attempt, you lose. Begin!
Easy peasy lemon squeezy, as we heroes of Asgard tend to say. Watch this. It's chuggin' time. Ha ha ha!
Thor chugged and chugged hard. The mead was sweet and delicious. He chugged again, and one more time, until convinced that the mead must nearly be all gone, he stopped to take a breath.
Oh no.
Less than a finger's width of mead had gone from the top of the horn. Hurriedly, hoping no one else had seen, Thor set back to chugging again. He chugged long, he chugged big, he chugged like no man or god had chugged before. Now, convinced that the mead was nearly gone, he stopped once more for a breath.
What in all the 9 realms?
Is there a problem, god of thunder?
Still, mead flowed in the horn. Less than 2 finger widths had gone.
No problem at all.
This is your 3rd and final attempt.
Yeah, I know. Just gonna finish my beverage right now.
Oh, boys and girls, how he chugged. Up, down, left, right. He chugged from all angles. Such chugging there was. But still, eventually, Thor stopped. His belly sloshed with mead, as if he'd drunk an ocean. And yet, still, there was mead in the horn. 3 finger whips had gone. No more. He had failed.
Gods. I've failed.
Thor, this is unbelievable. You are known as the greatest drinker to ever have drunk drinks.
Can't even finish a drink. Begone from my halls, Thor. You are not strong enough to dine here, little god, and therefore will find no welcome between these walls. Go, before I set my nursemaid on you again.
Laughter, booing and heckling surrounded Thor and followed him as he and Loki left the fortress. It was not until they had neared the forest again that the noise finally drifted away.
Loki, what's happening to me? Am I dying?
I don't think so, brother, but you never know. Oh, look, here comes Screamia.
Thor! Loki! Back so soon? Did you enjoy your free dinner?
There was no free dinner, Scrimir. I've failed. Literally for the first time ever, like in the history of Asgard. It's the first time I've ever failed. This is what normal people feel like. It's awful.
Screamy, baby, not gonna lie, it didn't go well.
My strength has failed me. Am I even a god anymore?
Oh, yes, you're totally still a god.
What? How do you know?
Because I, Screamir, am, in actual fact...
Screamir placed a golden crown upon his head. A massive golden crown.
King Utgarda!
You? But how?
Magic, Thor! I've been using magic on you ever since you tried to murder me in my sleep.
What? I never tried to...
You did. 3 times you struck me upon the noggin, and 3 times I pulled a mountain over my head to protect me. Look!
The king pointed at a distant mountain range. 3 of the mountains had no peaks, each flattened by some massive blow.
Now that's impressive.
So, I'm still strong. Well then, how come I couldn't lift a kit?
Magic, Thor! Mr. Nibbles was, in actual fact, Jormungandr, the world snake, she who lives at the bottom of the oceans and is so long she stretches around the world and can bite her own tail.
Jormungandr? But I had 3 of the paws on the floor.
You did? I was a little concerned I'd accidentally started Ragnarok.
All right. What about the nursemaid? The old lady wrestled Thor to his knees. It's almost as if she was... Oh, hang on. Magic?
Absolutely. That was no old lady. It was time. Time will even drive the gods to their knees eventually.
That's pretty deep, your giant majesty.
I know, right?
So I'm also still a brilliant fighter. Oh, thank the me's. But what about the drinking contest? I chugged really hard, but to no avail.
Ah, yes. Well, that one is my bad. Using magic, I swapped the mead for all the oceans in all the world.
Are you telling me that I drank 3 finger widths off the top of all the oceans in the world?
You did. Mad respect, yo. It has caused a bit of a problem, though. Now the water doesn't fit in the oceans properly.
Yes, boys and girls, Thor had drunk so much out of the ocean that they now sloshed back and forth. Thor had just created the tides.
Still strong, still great at fighting, and still the best drinker ever. Ha, I am awesome!
Thor, have you learned nothing about humility from all of this?
Nope. Humility is for losers.
Oh, Loki, your brother is just the worst.
Yeah, I know.
And that, dear listeners, concludes our tale.
Wow. Bob, that was a good tale.
It was! Wow! I particularly liked the bits with Screamir and King Utgarda, and that Scottish giant too. He was good. He was Scottish, you see.
Ah, you mean the bits that were your lines?
Yeah! Well done, me.
We hope you enjoyed the last installment of our Thor Trilogy, folks.
Trilogy!
Stop it!
Until next time we meet, dear friends, we are the Silly History Boys, and we remain, as always, sorry. The Silly History Boys Episode 6, Utgarda-Loki Saga, or the Klingon word for retail park, was written by the Silly History Boys, mostly by Stu Perry, but we are not currently speaking. Thor, the God of Thunder, was played by Tom Tombo Furmore. Loki and the Old Lady were played by Will Uncle Bilbo Tristan. The part of Lady Gaga Utgarda and the giant Screamir, which is difficult to say, was played by Stuart Pear Bear Perry. The narration was provided by me, your dear Uncle Bob. Musical accompaniment was provided by Lord Fastfingers. Special thanks and a complimentary for Eggs Breakfast goes to Marketing Warlock Simon Alamy. If you enjoyed the Silly History Boys show, please leave us a review on iTunes and also possibly consider visiting your GP. You can also leave threats and good wishes on Facebook at Silly History Boys Show and Twitter at SHB_show. Thank you once again for those who provided their sounds of displeasure for the credits. You were my brother, Pear Bear. I loved you. Tune in next time for another very silly story from the Silly History Boys. Right, that'll do it.